So good morning. I look like hell because I really just woke up. But I woke up not feeling good. Not like not good, but not feeling good, not in a pleasant mind space. And one of the things I think is really important is, well, people to have their own rhythm and whatever, to try to get back on a more positive note. I usually do this stuff on my own, like privately, but if it works for me, it might work for somebody else. And then maybe I'll get into a shower and do what I'm supposed to do. But anyway, I woke up this morning just feeling not so happy, not so hopeful, and that's usually not me. So for me to try to break through it, I usually go into meditation. I'll grab my cards, drawing, painting, writing, but sometimes, I go into cards and whatever. Like, things are just really strong emotional wise, and I don't know why. Well, I know why. I usually can clear it. So I figured I'd come in and see what Spirit has to say, because I believe if I'm part of the collective, then other people might be feeling the same way. But then that's also subjective about who, what, why. My energy might creep up on me first, and then if it's a ripple effect, then other people will wind up feeling the same way. It's just the way I process things. So I might have had a nightmare last night, or it was a nightmare last night. I don't know. It could be for somebody. Don't take it. When we believe in something, we manifest it. It's just like, I was even thinking about, I think so back and forth. It's not funny. I go back to ancient time thinking, mythology, God, all everywhere. I bounce all over the place. Here I said God. God is the sun. Well, God is a product of whatever created us. You want to call it God? Then it's God. But how did the sun get created before it? That's just the way I am. Yeah. Apparently, it was collaboration, probably of elements, Big Bang, or what if the first Earth figured out how to? Because I do believe in parallel universes. I did say I'm sci-fi, and you don't like it, that's fine. I know I'm different. It is what it is. Yeah, but what if another planet, the first planet, figured out how to make things expand with their mind? I mean, how to come somewhere. Left side, the right side of the mind. Before we incarnated into human matter, being physical, we were just thought. We were just sound. We were just frequency. It's about going and rest and meditating. It's like, can you picture being a person who passed away? I mean, because I can, or even just the Holy Spirit that came out of nothing, had to come from somewhere, so where to come from. So I try not to ponder that thought, because I know a lot of people basically have. Then I thought about different religions and different faiths, and if we are here, multiple universes and different dimensions, then everything that we perceive from this point with every religion, science, we've all borrowed off of other systems, or we've tapped into other systems depending on the frequency and the vibration. It's all about giving. I also do see the magician as Jesus or Adam. But then again, I do think that Adam is Atom, not Adam, because atoms, particles, is what creates the world with the sun. I mean, technically, they're more powerful than we are, and we don't even give them any thanks or praise to the particles. Thank you, particles. We thank God, but who created God? Particles. The sun. God is a frequency. God is a mindset. God is a thought. So it's all about apathy of ourselves and trying to tap into that higher consciousness and higher void. And the funny thing is, people think void is like cancel the order. I wonder if Spirit's ever caught up to what void means. We use the void as blackness and fabric of space. And the word void also means to cancel transaction. I mean, I guess that kind of would be it. You died. You've been voided. You're going to the void. We've canceled your transaction. Back into the void. Back into the one. That does actually freaking make sense, honestly. I might be making fun of it, but it kind of makes sense. So we pass. We go to the void because your contract's been voided. Null and void. You're done. But I think that's the problem, is that's how we're treating people who pass over. We treat them like the null and void. Your body on this earth is done. You're null and void, and everybody just moves on. Meanwhile, they're still there. They still have the memories. They still have the feelings of the memory of how it is. They don't have the body until they reincarnate. We all reincarnate because we don't want to be just thought. Can you picture our loved ones who passed away, who are just stuck up there in particle land with memories, shooting it back to us, and we're like, oh, it's just me thinking of them. No, it's them thinking of you because you make a connection. It's that fire, that wand, that knowledge, knowing that some person was in your life and now they're gone. They've been voided out. They went to the void. Your contract's now in void. But that's how we think of it here. But that's not how it is in spirit land. The whole heaven on earth that everybody wants in the Bible is mediumship. It's everyone becoming their own medium. Why it says in the Bible, do not see a tarot card or a medium, is because God wanted you to talk to himself. God created us as tools. This is like what, a syllabus? This is what, a calculator? What is this? Is so satanic? Really? If you see Satan in this, then you are mirroring yourself and your fears. Very, very fucking simple. So it's just like, it comes down to this day and age that you're going to let people say that this is satanic when it heals. Good morning. So yeah, I just like, I was not in the mood today, and just like, you know what, I'm going to just come on and go through the process it takes me to get out of my funk and my fog. Because I wake up looking like this, took care of the dogs, giving them some peanut butter and jelly nibble things. But I'm like, maybe this will help somebody else clear their process. I can't be the only one to process their own processes. How did the world begin? How did the big thing? How did we make nothing out of something? And how did we create war out of God's creation? Makes absolutely no freaking sense. Good morning. Oh, good morning. How are you? You just recent. Well, happy 18th birthday. Make an investment in yourself and go get a pack of cards. Come here and I'll teach you how to read them on the 5th dimension. I don't read tarot like the other people, but I all the other tarot readers do such a good job. And I'm just like, I can't be them. So I cultivated quantum physics, paranormal psychology, science fiction, and I'm also a nurse and been, so I'm starting a new beginning and maybe helping people the journey of, maybe the journey of conflict of their mind and to get over the conflict of the mind. We sitting here trying to fit into, a world that somebody else created. And then we get yelled at when we get the Empress. And the Empress is, we have thoughts and we have ways of developing new things in realms. Women are realms because we give birth to angelic beings into human forms. And then we have people like Trump that treat us like shit. Bye-bye, Trump. Satan needs to come get your ass. Patience. I don't know how patient I can be. You're 10. What grade are you in? I'm about 13 billion years old. I am my grade is, honey, I keep learning. I love learning, especially with quantum physics, spiritual. I am addicted to spirituality. It would absolutely, I listen to Buddha. I listen to Hermes, everything and anything I get my mind on. I try to turn it off and I get sucked right back in. I have an addiction to educating my mind so I can obtain the world. How screwed up is that? But I use a lot of AI. Morning. I use a lot of AI and stuff like that. I bounce back and forth to them. It helps me be able to say, hey, I have this thought. Where is it coming from? And I'm actually able to go back to the beginning of the root cause of it. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys? Thanks for coming in. The Magician. Anybody who pulls a Magician card in my book is dealing with a person that knows how to fix problems. Because he's Jesus. He is the Son of God. And everyone perceives it differently. So it can solve all. So the Magician has all the elements, has infinity to work it out with. He can work upside down or right side up. He's got the garden, he got the flower, he's got everything. But yeah, I just wanted to come on because I was feeling a little 3 of Swords, and I do believe that other people resonate with other people. So I figured let me come clear my energy and see if anybody else wants to get pulled along. And it's okay if they don't. It's about creative expression, getting my words and trying to get out of my isolation. You know, everybody's getting ready to celebrate the holidays, and I'm not feeling positive about it. Probably neither is the world. You know, with all the uncertainty looming over us, it's hard to be in a celebratory reason. You know, so many people are feeling out like left in the cold due to things of the nature of our government and our world leaders. You know, they're basically playing, you know, high school king and queen. Go football. You know, they get to the point that they don't care about the players, but they don't give us helmets, Gatorade, or sustained things to keep our world going. It's all about the freaking people in the White House. It's all about the people in the Kremlin. It's all about the people who think that they freaking know everything and they don't. All you're doing is destroying God's people. You can say you're God's-fearing people, these freaking idiots. You're nothing but a tower to our society. And the only thing that you lovely authoritarian rulers don't understand is we have so many star seeds, remote viewers, psychics, and all this other stuff that know you're bullshit. And we're not afraid to call you out on it. And so many tarot readers are so against doing politicians and get involved. That's what they want. They think that light workers are going to sit there and let us get trampled over. Guess what? You get enough light workers on the same page, we don't have to do harm. All we have to do is meditate and entangle into your mind. Giving and chariot. The chariot is car, messages is also about the vessel, the human vessel. This is our carriage. This is our body. And we need somebody in the White House that's actually giving, who actually gives a damn about us and God's creation. And we are all God's creation. All of us. Every single last one of us. The blade of the grass, the sand. And no one has any respect for anything. They have no problem walking all over everybody, walking all over each other. To get what? Parking spot? To get illusions? Start meditating. Start thinking outside the realm. Start thinking of positive things, because this is where we win. This is where no weapons against us would cause damage, is because when you get enough psychic mediums, remote viewers, and all this other stuff to start getting into the minds of dirty politicians and taking them down by our mind, by our prayers, and by our thoughts, that's how you win the war. Not by nuclear bombs, not by freaking missiles, not by all this other crazy ass shit. You guys developed the wrong time to come onto this planet to try taking this planet over. God, Jesus, all that sent a bunch of star seeds to put justice in order, and that is including the White House. That's including Russia. You guys think you have a World War III going on? You do. But you got a bunch of star seeds and oracles and all this other stuff sitting on this earth who are sitting there trying to undo every freaking thing that you are trying to do to God's people. Very simple. I just think it's hysterical that people think that tarot card readers are evil. Why? Because we connect to our consciousness. This is basically like not only developing our consciousness, loved ones who have passed over, who everyone gives us 3 days to mourn. God forbid you go and you remember that person. I mean, yeah, we need to go on and stuff like that. But if they're trying to communicate and they decide to jump in and out of people, because that's where shapeshifters are going. That's why shapeshifters are here. Because people are being literally possessed, not in a negative way, but the walk-ins, the dragons of Sophism and the Hopi and all that stuff is a dragon. The Chinese metaphor is a dragon. A dragon is a soul that comes in through a body through drugs, alcohol, mental health. A walk-in is someone who's invited in during a seance. Let me get that straight for you. There's nothing wrong with communicating to spirit. Just putting the intention which spirit you want to talk to. You talk to God. You don't know if Satan's next. You got to remember, we have mythology. I studied this and finally made sense. You know, the freaking devil card is Capricorn. And I researched this. Christ's cosmic consciousness is what the overall world thinks, right? So we're out there buying Christmas gifts for Jesus's birthday, right? This is the devil card. And you wonder why our quantum entanglement is going on. Jesus and the devil, basically the same person. And that's only because as of now, we have not taught our children what it means. Well, it's not even said when Jesus was born. You know, It's all about intuition. And it was about a new beginning. So Jesus is a consciousness, a new beginning. That's what that is. Christ consciousness is being able to tap into that void, that all-knowing. And when you look into parallel universes and multiple universes, then you start to pull from where it's not us that have made it up. It is prior. It's prior incarnations. Is prior, star seeds, Pleiadians. All those. They're real. Obviously, they're real. If we are channeling them. So, and then it's just perception. The way the words come in, who's interpreting them, when it bounces off our brain, messages come in, and then we're having sages write down things, and they didn't understand that you write down war, and then all of a sudden, it's like in the Bible, studying that, we actually incarnated it. Just like everyone's saying, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Well, guess what? Y'all invoked Jesus Christ. So that's what Christ consciousness is. You all want heaven on earth. And that is what this is being able to channel the loved ones. Being able to understand that you could have different moods, and that could be literally a different frequency, a different residency, and that could affect your brain. It has nothing to do with, obviously, there is stuff in the mental health issues and stuff, but what happens if we taught to clear it? What if we're taught to actually, say, I am feeling like I have 3 voices in my head. I'm not saying that, but there are people who feel like they are the spirit of soul at the beginning, person, collaboration. They're like, okay, why do I have all these minds? Maybe all these racing mind things that everyone's going on, the ADHD, is because people are channeling more than one entity or on multiple frequencies. The people who probably are so in tune. We're born, right? And as our world goes on, we've had so much addiction and harm to our bodies and trauma of lifetimes, whatever. And then you go and have, blood transfusion, plasma, and even having tissue donations and stuff like that. Their DNA is fractals. So that your fractal part of you've just given your essence away. But because we're not a spiritual world, we don't think about that. So now we've given blood donations and all this other stuff, which is a great thing, conditional love. But it makes sense why all of a sudden there's so many different realities. Because it's a part of me and you, and so on and so forth. And then you have reincarnation come in. So then you get reincarnated. Someone donates blood, and the person who received it, passes away. But the person who donated is stuck on, is here on Earth because maybe they're 25. The person dies 80. Now that person who's 80 years old has to wait for the 25-year-old to be done. And then what happens if that 25-year-old goes and donates something? It's this, and I'm not saying we don't obviously help each other. What I'm saying is if we learn what's going on, and that's by the way, Bailey something. Laura Bailey or something like that. She wrote about vampirism, and that's actually what she's talking about. I have a clairaudience gift. I have a gift that I can perceive things so much differently than other people. Does not mean it's right. It just means it helped me. So I figure if I come and explain what helped me as a survivor, as an ex-addict, as a person who's gone through loss and all this other stuff, maybe I can help somebody else. So yeah, I develop different ways to deal with what I do. But I'm a freaking survivor. Most people would not be able to survive and get their brain back to be able to go to Christ consciousness. And yes, you got to understand, drugs and alcohol, like I said earlier, Capricorn is Christmas. Just having, it's the left side, the right side of the brain. It's doubt and self-doubt. If you think about it, Jesus probably sat there, or even monks and all that probably sat there going, I don't know if what I'm thinking is right. And then is sad or depression. That the tarot cards depression. So, we got people who have and swing all different ways in their mind. But we'll go throw drugs at them instead of giving them therapy. Instead of becoming the beast. The beast is you, fighting your inside demonic energy. They should have made this a demon. We should have probably put the devil. It would have made more sense. Truth card. It's about raising to stars and Aquarius. And we are actually in time of Aquarius, like the song. but that's to obtain the world and to actually look at the world in a different way, to get over anxiety, to get over pain, and become curious about the world, and start understanding that these swords are thoughts. It's a creation. So when you're able to clear your mind over having high speed internet basically in your mind, and actually that's another thing that has anyone actually ever thought of. We sit there and we have put Wi-Fi in, electric, and all this other stuff, but that's all part of airways, right? The airways go into our particles and stuff like that. We ain't crazy. We're just tapped in. It's just the rest of the world has not caught up into being tapped in. And we've been really, really resilient about it because we've been left out in the colds for so freaking long, thinking the way that we do. And we have constantly stood our ground. And the heavens have been watching. And it's here to develop intuition and to be able to go double intuition, to see, the dangers and stuff like that. We've learned, the red flags, to teach other people the red flags, through creative projects and stuff like that, and getting over the defeat so we could have the fulfillment and become the fool again. And the fool is, again, is being able to have that self-fulfilling prophecy in a positive way to change the world to the way you want it. It's just really hard because it's patience. It's patience to be able to conquer your mind, left side and right side of the mind. You got to be able to conquer the mind of the ego and the intuition, to be the honest person, to understand what goes around comes around in a karma way. I was thinking that, that whole freaking fairy tale, you're rubber, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks onto you. I mean, unless everybody else was aware of it, it's about karma. You say something, it bounces off. It's karma. So what you say, and so we're teaching children karma on a nursery rhyme. I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. And that's the person who is being evil. So he's put their shield up and it's gone back to him. But most people now have learned to put shields up. So if you don't accept it in a way, it grows that beast. And that person who's angry is going to bring that anger to somebody else. And that creates karma. And that is where we're having problems with basically being able to collaborate, being able to bring the world into a more harmonious state. Like I said, 10 Pentacles and the devil, again, Capricorn. I don't let the devil do me anymore. So I see Jesus. I see Jesus in everything. I see Christ consciousness in everything. When you're able to get your mind wrap around it. I used to be scared of this card, not anymore. Now I laugh in your ass. You're no longer a tower to me. Because I am my own beast master. I have conquered my own mind. And that sword, which is truth. And going through this has made me become nurturing. It has made me understand the world and karma. And now I'm feeling a little bit better. Because I became that vessel and I let the messages come through. So now the burden has lifted. And now I become a magician. Now I stabilize my field by putting out things at 23:23. And I believe we are done. Bye-bye.